Hey, it's Don the Auction Professor. It's Sunday, so it's time for another What's Sold on eBay video. Just as always, I've picked some random items from the one store that we share with you, and I'm going to discuss them a little bit, where I got them, and some interest and some things that I do to help sell those specific items. We're going to go to the screen right now, and I'm going to show you what we sold. Okay, so today I'm just going to go over again just some random items, switching up things. It's really cold outside. I've got a hat, coat, the whole works on. It's like 0 or below outside right now. We had to do some pickups for records today, like 7,000 of them. So we did 4 trips with that. I've already showered and everything else, but I've got a haul video on that. We didn't film any outside just because was freaking cold outside. So anyway, first item today is the encampment for the GAR, the Civil War. It's a National Guard piece from Ohio. I've had it up for a year or so. I've got nothing into it. We sold a bunch from the same lot. I bought them in bulk. So this one I took 45 from someone who bought like 8 other items from me. So I'm happy with that. It's 45 bucks, almost pure profit other than the fees that I pay for eBay. So, you know, it's just extra money. Here is a postcard. This was up for 6 months. Again, I throw them up. I have no idea what some are worth. I took 15 on it. I talked to the gentleman who was interested in it a couple of times back and forth. And 15, I guess I'm fine with it. You know, I paid 50 cents or $1 for it. No more than that, and probably even less than that. It's a chrome, and I usually don't pay anything for chromes. You know, it's usually a bulk purchase item. These are just some of the type of things that we do sell. It's like an attraction kind of thing. It's Placerville, though, so California. Those type of items always go for us. See, next item, this is a new church in Kent, England. It's a Sunday school class. It sold for $43.12. Went to England, of course, so, you know, just the way you see it. It's got some issues, but it's early, it's original. It's a nice real picture postcard, so can't quit on that one. Here's another item. It's just a label. The same person bought a few of these. It was, I think we sold $32.50 on this one. This one was $30 on the spot, and then he bought some other ones as well, too, as I said. Same one. Now, here's again the Ross Verlag, the real picture postcard movie stars and actress postcards. This one, we got a scanner now, so it would have looked better than this image here. It's kind of a cutesy 1920s image. Madge Bellamy. I've never heard of her before until we found the postcard and I started to look it up. It did go for $18.38, so can't complain. Again, I bought a bunch of these on numerous occasions. We bought a few more the other day. These Ross Verlag always seem to sell, so I never worry about whether they're going to sell or not going to sell on these. So anyway, $18.38. Now here's a record that I've had up for a little while. And again, I price high. I have no idea. There are no comps to compare this one to on any of the sites I use. It's a very scarce disc. It's Frankie Yankovic. No relation to Weird Al Yankovic. They knew each other, apparently, from some of the videos I saw, but other than that, no relation. It's Christmas chopsticks. It's a scarce one. Now, polka ones I look for quite often, too, so just something you can do. I took $150 on this, 150 bucks. I'm fine with that. It's going out of season, Christmas. I paid $1 for it, so, you know, I can't complain no matter what. Now, these are trade cards. They're foreign. One of the few foreign language items that I do buy. I bought a whole bulk lot of these. I got like 150 sets from the same company. They're like trade cards, non-sports trade cards. They'd be collected just like Star Wars cards or, you know, something along that line, Star Trek or Superman cards. So one person bought 5 or 6 sets of these. I don't remember exactly how many. Basically spent almost $200 on just these. This one went for $35. Another one went for $32. And then we went into some jewelry. This is a cheapo. This is like a quarter or 50 cents in one of those bag lots that I bought. It's nothing really special. It's just plastic faux tortoiseshell, $11.25, plus they paid postage. So, you know, I'm making a good $8-9 easy after all fees and after things said and done. This is one of the ones the wife took. She takes really good pictures. Most of the time I say take and have a white background, but not always. The jewelry seems to shine out. Since I don't sell it anywhere else other than on Etsy or here on eBay, I don't worry as much about the background, as you can see. It went very well on these, and the black background's kind of key to these being able to sell better, in my personal opinion anyway. So May not sound like a big score to some people, but I only had it up for 15 bucks. It's no big deal. I buy them in bulk, as I said. Costume jewelry, if you don't mind hanging on to it, you're going to get a real good return on your investment. I sell some every single week this time of year, no matter what. Couples sometimes, 3, 4, sometimes several in the same day even. Now this one I showed in a haul, I believe. I think it's an incense burner or something. It's bronze or copper. It's really early, really old. I got 50 cents, maybe $1 into it at max. I sold it for $13.12, and of course they pay for shipping out of that. So I'm not worried about that at all. So again, $9-10 just off some little simpleton thing. I had one of my employees just shoot some photos of it. It looks early. It looks 19th century from what I can personally see. More offers coming in today. Now I talk about tobacco items too. This is just another example of one of the ones that we sell. This has dual interest. Actually, it's basically three interesting categories this one can fall into. The penny farthing is the bike. So bicycle collectors will get this. Sports collectors as well. Non-sports card collectors will be into this, and tobacco collectors, tobacco cigarette card collectors. So it's another multi-category interest. The person who bought this bought mostly penny farthing and stuff like that, not related to the actual tobacco aspect of it. So, $43 this one went for here. Now this is Oscar Peterson Trio. It's a Mosaic. Any of the Mosaic company pressings, and this is a CD set, sell extremely well because the quality on them is horrendous. They're taken from the original masters. They're studio recordings. They're not released any other way. This did sell for $93.75. I had it up for maybe 3 months, maybe at most. I've shown this in a haul, so I would probably say maybe 2 months at the best. So I've got 10 cents or less into listing this item. I paid $1 for it, maybe $2. I think maybe $1 or $2. I can't be more than that. These Mosaic, though, don't show up very often. It has a few issues which were listed. There's enough photos to tell on what it is. And you can see there's a little wear from shelf wear only. $93.75. The person paid for postage. They will be very happy, I am sure. Now, these trains I've shown in a lot, too. This is the last set of train cars that I had. And I buy them in bulk, and I've talked about that before at auctions and things like that. You can kind of get the gist of it. It's just 3 HO scale cabooses. I took $20 on them. I've got nothing whatsoever into them. The first or second lot I sold out of all this stuff. I got this train stuff, paid for everything, and then the rest now is just all profit other than the fees and taxes, of course. Davy Crockett, $10.88. I just marked it down. These go like $6-8 on average. Look it up. You can look up comps. I took $10.88, a little higher than most. Plus, they paid for postage. Again, I never include postage. This is something that's good. This is Disney tie-in. It's Fess Parker, for crying out loud. I mean, if you've got to know something about who that is. This is the Davy Crockett series that everybody wanted. They made trade cards and toys and figures and Marx figures and all kinds of stuff from all of these series back then. Again, they paid postage on this. If you're interested in how I ship things, I do have videos on that, and I will pop one up right up here for you, link to a packing video so you can see how this stuff is packed as well, too. If you're unaware, I've got over 300 videos. They all cover the exact same topics. Date-wise of them being put up has no relevance on their usefulness because all of those things are still things that I buy and collect. Everything that I show you is stuff that I have personally messed with myself, and that's why I show it. So if you want to see some interesting content, no need in waiting for new videos to come out. I've got a ton, and I do mean a ton, over 300, like 340 videos up, all the same type of content. Bolos and vintage items, what to look for, and some hauls as well, too. Let's move on from there. Now, I show camera stuff all the time. When I get some stuff that's just bulk, it's not worth selling individually, which usually happens because I'll buy like 50 pounds worth of camera stuff sometimes at an auction. All of that just goes into lots. Now, this is the very last lot of these that I had. I took 25. It's been up for, say, 5 months. I just wanted to blow it out. It's been here. It takes up some space. It literally weighed 10 pounds. Unboxed, so they paid for shipping as well too. So, and I always do calculated shipping, so if the prices change, I have nothing to worry about because my dimensions and my weight are correct. Before I list everything, I verify the weight of it. I might be off by a few ounces on something, and that's my fault if I am, but it's usually just because of packing material if that happens, and it's very, very rare. Postcard, again, Christmas stuff sells all year round. This sold for $13.12. I had it up for $17.50. And after season on some of these items, I still keep them up, of course, all year round. But I'll do just a little bit of sale. I did 25% off. This was $1 postcard. Purple Coat Santa. So at this point, it's got some issues too, which are listed in there as well. So at this point, I mark it down. It went for the full markdown price, $13.12. So, you know, I made like $11 on it. These I sell all the time. I do mark down stuff, and I will still take an offer on them because who knows what they're worth. I've got almost nothing into this. At this point, I've made so much money off these photos, I could literally throw the rest of them away if I really wanted to and still rake out like a bandit. But this one sold for $22.50. Again, I sell these all the time. I've sold several other one of these this week, but you know, you can see the same thing over and over again so many times. Sergeant Fury number 6. I think this is the last of the Sergeant Fury that I had. I had a whole run of them, all early issues, single digits, as well as hundreds of other ones. I have probably at this point eliminated probably 65 or better % of all the comic books that I had up. This one went for $17.50. Now here is POS of A, and I think it's Patriotic Sons of America. And I don't remember the full connotations of what the group is, but this one went to somebody who's actually a member. This is an 1876 ladies' invitation card, basically. It has Dresden gilt around it. It's embossed. It's early. The scan doesn't do it justice. The ink actually was reflective, so it was kind of hard to get a good image on this one, but I took 35 on it. You know, I'd rather have it go to somebody who desperately wants it because they're a member of the group than sit there and wait and hope to get some more money. You got to play the game, so sometimes it's just not worth holding on to it. This is an oddball item, and I knew it was when I put it up, so the rule of thumb is $35 is a pretty good offer. I paid 50 cents for it and 3 other ones that weren't. The other ones aren't actually POS of A, so anyway. Tobacco cards. This one's a butterfly. It's like a fairy series. It did go for $28.12. I marked it down again. This is one of those ones where I say, if you hit some of the ones that have been up for a while. This was up for a while. Now, I relist manually sometimes on some of them, too, every 30 days. And I'll switch something up a little bit just so they're reactivated. So this one has been up for, I think, 3 months on this one here. So that's either 15 cents to list it for 3 months, or it would only be 6 cents, depending on if I include that in my first free 10,000 basic listing. So I don't really worry about that. As I said, I do hit the ones that have multiple views that have been up for 3 months or so, and that's what this one hit on the mark. So, and I can tell that by the number. It's in P135, so that helps me, so I can instantly tell, and I can search instantly without having to do, like, you know, sub or you know, my own SKU or key names or numbers on them. So anyway, now this is a Reamer's Tea Company card. It's even missing a corner, which it states in the listing. This is like an advertising promotional item for tea, basically. And Lipton Tea had them, and all these other companies had them. They keep making them, even up into the 60s and 70s. You can find stuff like this. I took 45, I believe, on this one here, so with the corner missing, too. Advertising cards do very well. That could have even come out of a magazine, for all I know, at some point. Here's a religious medal. It went for $18.38. It has enamel. It's early. It could be sterling, but I really doubt it. I don't think I even added, yeah, I didn't even add that in there. It could be sterling. I wasn't going to clean it up. It just goes as it goes. Even at $18.38, there's a ton of value in it if it was sterling, because you're talking probably $4 worth of sterling, if at the best. Another postcard, nothing special. This one I just took 10 on because it's really nothing. The area that it's from is the only reason someone even bought it, because it's really nothing. It's probably, well, it's probably a little later than 1910. Sometimes, obviously, the mix-ups on the titles happen. I've got employees, so anyway, it did sell. Here's a advertising card for a soap company. It's telephone soap. It never made any sense. This came out of a kitchen collector's estate. They had kitchen utensils and like the painted wood handles with the red and the white all over the place, just a ton of it. They had soap collections in there. They had old vintage bars of soap and stuff. Everybody bought the bars of soap and stuff, which sell for $5 or $10. I bought all the paper items for almost nothing, and I've been selling some of these. This is the second one of these owl ones that I sold for good money, and this one did go for $43.12. People have these on the wall. I took some from the same estate sale off the wall, out of the frames, to verify they were vintage, and bought all the framed pieces that they had on the wall, because they had these custom framed, and they're worth so much more selling them individually than a framed piece, because I couldn't prove they were even real. So anyway, luggage label. This one went for, I believe, this one actually I think did go for $13. Of course, they pay for postage out of that as well, too, so... 3 Caballeros. Now, I collected Disney stuff when I was a kid. You know, I remember this when I was 7 or 8. This was a musical. Came out in the 40s, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Donald Duck is one of the 3 caballeros, and there's a whole thing on it. There's song Brazil's in there and the whole works. If you haven't seen it, it's worth seeing. Bing Crosby, of course, I talk about that all the time. I do sell Bing Crosby constantly. Andrews Sisters sell very well, too. They did a lot of World War II songs. They were in a ton of Abbott and Costello movies, which I talked about in other videos relating to lobby carts and stills. So I have fond memories of a kid watching the animated mixed real live action with the animation in movies like The 3 Caballeros. I drew the characters. I even sold illustrations of Disney characters back when I was even a child, when I didn't even know what I was doing wise. And I've talked about, since I was 7, I've sold illustrations, drawings, or something in my life, whether it was my old toys or stuff to friends and we swapped or whatever the case may be. This one did go for $19.99. Here's another postcard. I took 20 on this one, I believe, and then postage, of course. It's an oddball subject. It's baseball. So anything baseball like this sells. Sports-related stuff like this is very good in any field you can find it in if it's 40s or below, from what my personal experience is. Now, if it's a specific team, Major League Baseball or something, there are even newer items, some 60s, 70s, 80s can still sell for horrendously good money. Now here's a tobacco silk. Now I had a couple of these. This one has a little issues with it. Went back and forth a little bit with the person, you know, when we were setting on a price, I believe, on this one. And I'd settle for $50. You know, I don't know what every one of these is worth. I know when it sits up for 3 months or so, or a month or certain length of time, it's not going to be a hot item. You can usually tell all the hot items go really quick. It's just a given because they're stuff that are in demand. They sell quick. So this one's one of the longer tail items. Not a super long time, but I'll have most of these probably gone within a week or two. I'm just going to throw some prices out on some of these and put them up as auctions on these and just let the market play the field. I'll put on them, my bottom line will be at least what I want to get out of them. So, you know, they'll sell or they won't. Another 8mm movie. I think I took 20 on this one as well, too. Again, these have all been paid for like 3 times over, 4 times over, maybe even at this point. So all of these, all I've got into them is my listing fees. These have been up for, at the most, 2 months. So it's either 10 cents in listing fees, 5 cents a month, or 4 cents, 2 cents a month, depending on if it's, again, my first 10,000 listings or, you know, the ones I have to pay the increased fee for over my 10,000 listings. And the last item here is just 1088. It's a Flying Tiger line air freight label that would have been put on packages sent by the Flying Tiger transportation company. Now, it's not related to the military Flying Tigers. I'm not sure on the era on this. I was expecting it's 30s, maybe 40s, maybe not. Maybe it's even 50s and just a takeoff on the Flying Tiger line. Somebody out there will probably know, but either way, I knew it was worth something. These are stuff that I buy in sometimes bulk. I had a bunch of these. Sometimes you get lucky, and at an auction you can find a whole tablet of these or a pack of these that haven't been issued or used. Those are always the best ones to get. So anyway, that's what I have for you today. Hopefully I added some information that you find useful on sourcing and some history and stuff on the items as well, too.
Well, there you go. Those are some more items that we sold. Hopefully that gave you some ideas and some thoughts on how we do our business and things you can be looking for and how to find those items. But that's what I have for you today, Don the Auction Professor. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified when I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell a friend.